welcome to Testimony Tuesdays. This is Pastor Erdy. I'm joined with Butch Chidester, and he is a church member. Butch, how long have you been a church member here?
We moved in here 2005, so we're probably 15, 16 years in.
There you go. Butch and his wife Joy, they have 2 children, and we really don't care about the children or their spouses, but how many grandkids we got?
We got 4.
All right. And sometimes they spend the night at your house, right? All 4 at one time.
I'm telling you, them grandkids could live here if Joy got a hold of them. I'm just telling you, they would live here.
Yeah, well, praise the Lord that she can't get a hold of them right now, right? So, anyways, today we're going to hear Butch's testimony. So, Butch, tell me how you came to know Christ, or your life before Christ. I'm sorry.
Yes, and I've been blessed. Let me just start off with a lot of people have some really life-changing testimonies and stuff, but I've been blessed by being born into a family, husband and wife, my parents, who were Christians, and they had us in church every Sunday, every Wednesday night. They had us at missionary meetings. We learned to love the missionary, the people that are going out into the world to spread the gospel, and we've got that from the get-go in our family. So my life before that was 11 years as a child, just growing up in the church, just taking what I was getting from my parents, from my pastors and all of our church members. But then at age 11, I became convicted that I could not live by my parents' decision to follow Christ. I had to accept Jesus Christ into my heart. And at age 11, I accepted Christ into my heart. I was in a vacation Bible school that we had. It was a neighborhood vacation Bible school. The church that we attended was Wiley Hill Baptist Church in Elwood City, Pennsylvania, and we lived down in Frisco. And my mother had the neighborhood kids come in, and it was during that vacation Bible school that I accepted Christ.
That's awesome. So at age 11, so then you came to know Christ, and at that vacation Bible school, what kind of impact has that made on your life as a teenager, as an adult, getting married, even today as a grandfather?
Well, being a Christian, you go into each session of your life. Whenever we came down to Kentucky, we came to Danville, and the first thing that we did as a family moving into that town from Pennsylvania was to look for a church home. And we found Calvary Baptist Church there in Danville to be our, we just felt led that that's where Christ wanted us.
Now, wait a second, let me just stop. You not only found a church family at Calvary, but didn't you find a wife at Calvary? Was her dad pastoring that church at the time?
I'm telling you, her dad comes to me all the time and says, "Hey, you asked for it, buddy. I'm just telling you."
You walked into this.
And let me just tell a little story just real quickly. Whenever we came in, I was attracted to Joy, but she had scoliosis at the time, and she had back surgery. So she was on her back for 9 months. And so they would bring her in with on a gurney and stuff. And me and my best friend we walked around with the youth group as we come around through there. And I said, "David, whenever she gets off that bed, I'm going to ask her out." Well, that rascal asked her out first, and he dated for 3 years, man, before I could get hold of her.
3 years?
3 years, yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. But anyway, yes, our church, that was really the first big decision that we made moving into the area. In high school and stuff, it's just you look for those opportunities for, with friendships and that kind of stuff of fellow believers and other kids that are going to church. So that kind of led. I went to college after high school, and I went to the University of the Cumberlands. Actually, it was Cumberland College at that time.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why was it was one of our Baptist schools that we had. So in every aspect of my life, after becoming a Christian, I'm looking for God's plan in my life.
Yeah, here's what I love about Butch. I love your heart. I love your desire to see where God's at work and join God. And I know we were talking before we got on, your life is busy with Atmos. They've got you going in so many different directions. And then on top of that, your grandkids live out of town and having to support Joy as she wants to run off and drag them all back to your house for an overnighter. But, I know that you're always looking to share Christ. And I am blessed because of your heart for the Lord and heart for doing the work that God has placed on you. And so I appreciate that. And I know even in this time that you are influencing people for the gospel at your company and your workplace. And I appreciate you and Joy and your friendship. And you're right. The only question I have is, are you and David friends today?
We still are. We'll occasionally golf together and that kind of stuff. And it's just amazing how the Lord works. But in every one of my prayers, usually at the end of it, I just pray that God will use me in wherever I am, whoever I'm meeting. I pray that they can see Christ in me.
Yeah.
And that's my prayer.
Yeah. Well, I can certainly see Christ in you, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Testimony Tuesday. I hope you'll check in next week as we have another testimony from one of our church members. God bless.